everybody, it's Lindsay here at PilatesJ. Today I'm going to take you through a little side lying tutorial. So we're going to do some glute work and then maybe some oblique work and then a nice sort of stretch to finish. So we're going to lie down onto your mats. All you need is a mat today. So we're going to lie down, you're going to line your head, shoulders and bottom up against the back of your mat, so the back edge of your mat. It's just a nice way to get some great alignment happening. And then we're going to take our our bottom leg, and we're going to align it with the front of our mat. So it's going to be in a tabletop position. We're going to have our top leg nice and long, sort of in line with our body. And then I want you just to think about your position for a minute. So let's reach the top of our head towards the wall. Over there, we're going to draw the belly button in towards the spine, and then I want you just to slightly lift that underneath waist. Just get the sense that it's coming away from the floor so that if we were standing, we'd have nice even waist on both sides. All right, and then we're just going to start by lifting this top leg. So we want the hips nice and stacked, the shoulders nice and stacked. We're going to lift that top leg, and then we're just going to lower it back down. So we only want to lift it as high as we can keep this nice long waist. So we're going to work for about 10 repetitions. If it's not feeling good in your body, just make sure that you've got this nice alignment. These exercises are, great, but we want to make sure we're in the right alignment and that we're not feeling pain. So muscle fatigue is okay, pain's not. All right, so let's do 2 more. We should be up to about 10. All right, and then we're gonna stack that top leg on our bottom leg so that they're nice and even. So the ball of the big toe and the heels are connected. Then we're going to lift this top knee up towards the ceiling and then back down. So I want you to feel like you're wrapping your thigh around towards your glute. If you're not sure, we're just getting warmed up here. If you're not sure where you're supposed to be feeling it, we should be feeling it just in the side of our bottom. And then potentially it might come down to the outside of your leg. We want to avoid feeling that in a joint. So if you feel like you're taking that work into a joint, then we want to maybe just again reset ourselves, make sure we're in a nice position, and go from there. All right, we're going to do 1 more like this, and then we're going to lift the whole leg. So then the whole leg comes up and then back down. We're just going to hip height. We're going nice and slow so that we work that glute in both directions. We're not letting gravity bring that leg back down. We also want to just let the heel or the ankle of that top foot just sort of lag behind the knee a little bit. So we want the knee just to be a little bit higher, and then that's just going to put some extra weight into that glute for us, and we'll get the most out of that work. All right, again, we're looking for about 10 repetitions in each position, so count your own. If you feel like you're coming out of the position because it's getting too hard, so if you're starting to sink into the floor, then we want to just reduce the amount of repetitions we do just so we keep that nice positioning. All right, last one, we're going to leave this leg lifted. We're going to imagine we're drawing little circles on the wall in front of us with our kneecap. So again, I'm going to do about 10 in each position, nice and smooth, nice and slow. I'm going to do 2 more like this, and then I'm going to reverse. And last one, and reverse. Again, keeping it nice and steady. Make sure those hips are staying stacked. And we'll go for 2 more. And last one. Whew, that leg comes all the way back down onto your mat. We're going to lengthen our legs out nice and long. They're going to be slightly in front of our midline, and then again, just make sure you're lifting through that underside waist, nice and long through the top side waist. And then we can have this top hand just placed on the floor for some support. We're going to lift both legs, so we want them glued together now, and then we're going to take the legs back down. So legs are glued together, so knees and ankles are as close as we can get them. And we're just going to do 5 here. So let's do 1 more. Now we're going to leave those legs up, keep that belly button drawing in. Let's see if we can take our bottom arm long and then our top arm long. So if you can balance in this position, great. If you can't, maybe we could stay here and just sort of work on that. Just work on finding some nice balance in this position. If you can balance, we're going to draw the tummy in. We're going to press into our bottom hand and then reach up. So we're going to reach this top hand down towards our heels, and we're just going to hold that for 10 seconds. And just staying nice and balanced. Keep that belly button drawing in towards the spine. And let's do 2 more seconds here. And then we're going to come all the way back down to the ground. Very nice. All right, let's take those legs. We're going to stack them back up. We're going to take our top hand. We're going to place it behind our head, and then just have the elbows drifting down towards one another. We're going to leave our hips stacked here again, same as what we did with the side glute work. We're going to find an inhale breath. So I want you to take a nice inhale breath. We're going to reach that elbow up towards the ceiling, and then we're going to follow it with our sternum and our eye line. We're just going to take it back as far as you're comfortable taking it. It should feel nice. And then we're going to find an exhale to draw the belly button in towards the spine, come back. And then we'll take a nice big inhale to go over. And a nice big exhale to draw the belly button in towards the spine and come back. And we're going to do 1 more. We're going to stay out this time. So we're going to do that last one. Take a nice big inhale. And then see if you can sink into that just a little bit more. Nice big inhale. And then sink into it just a little bit more. And then we'll find an exhale and we'll bring that all the way back to our start position. All right, and then we're going to roll over and do the other side. So again, our setup is to have our head, shoulders, and bottom lined up with the back edge of our mat. And then we're going to have that bottom leg in a tabletop position, so our knee and our foot are lined up with the front of our mat. We want the head to be nice and long, reaching towards that wall behind you, and then we'll have our underside waist slightly lifted. Drawing the tummy in, make sure the hips are stacked, our shoulders are nicely stacked, and then we'll just start lifting that leg. And again, about 10 repetitions here. We want to gently draw that belly button in towards our spine. And then we want to keep the leg from going too high here. If we take it too high, we're going to just shrink into this top side waist. So we want to stay nice and long through that top side waist. We're going to do 2 more here. Again, we're working for about 10 in each position, but just do whatever feels right for your body. We're going to bend that top leg up so it's nicely stacked on top of our bottom leg. And then just make sure here that your tailbone hasn't curled under. So we still want our tailbone reaching long on our mat. And then we're going to lift that top knee. So lifting and lowering. Feel like the thigh is wrapping around towards the glute to lift that leg. And we're going a nice even speed here. So it's not too fast, and we're taking it down just as slowly as we're going up. You can also think about sort of reaching long through this knee. So make sure it's nicely stacked over that bottom leg. And last one. And then we're going to lift. So again, let that foot relax. The knee is slightly higher. Tummy is still drawing in. And 2 more like this. So we can also touch our glute if we don't think we're feeling it. We're going to go into our circles now. So again, we want to draw little circles on the wall in front of us with our kneecap. We're going for 10 in each direction. So like I was saying, we can sort of touch that area of the bottom that we want to be working, which is the side of your bottom. So into that sort of side of the glute. Yeah, if you're not feeling it, a good place to start is just to touch it, and then sometimes we'll get that connection and reverse. And 2 more. Nice and smooth and slow. And then that leg comes all the way back down. Very nice. We're going to reach those legs long. We're going to come into that sort of side stability using our obliques a little bit. And we're going to do 5 lifts of the legs. So I want you to think about lots of length coming out of the heels. We're going to glue those legs together. Keep that belly button drawing in. Our top hand is just resting on the mat for a little bit of support. And let's go for 2 more. Last one, we're going to leave those legs lifting. So the legs are lifting nice and high. We're going to reach this bottom arm out just for a little bit of support. You can have the palm facing down. My legs are still up, they're still glued together, and then we're going to lift that top arm up. So again, if this is hard enough just doing this, stay here and just see if you can find some nice balance in this position. Feel free to bring this top arm back down to the ground. All right, so if that's feeling good, we're going to challenge it a little bit more. We're going to draw the belly button in towards the spine. We're going to press into our bottom arm, and then we're going to reach up. So we're still looking forward. Our head is reaching towards the opposite wall, and our hand is reaching down towards our feet. We're drawing that belly button in towards the spine, and we're going to hold that for 10 seconds. So we're going to go for 5 more seconds here. And all the way back down with control onto your mat. We're going to bring this top hand back behind our head, bottom arm as well, and then just let the elbow sort of, top elbow drift towards the bottom elbow. Our hips are stacked again, and then we're going to find a nice big inhale. We're going to take our top arm up towards the ceiling, and then we're just going to take our eye line and sternum. We're going to follow that elbow just to a place that's comfortable for you. And then we're going to find an exhale to draw the belly button in towards the spine and come back to our start position. So it's a nice big inhale to open. And then an exhale to close that back up. And this last one here, we're going to hold it for an extra couple breaths. So we're going to inhale to open. And then I want you to, on your next inhale, just sink into it just a little bit more. It should feel really nice here. Our hips stay stacked. And then let's find an exhale to scoop that tummy and come all the way back to our start position. Thanks for joining me, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that. I'll see you again soon. Bye.